My preparation for parenting began much ahead of marriage, and then I thought I should prepare myself sufficiently. So I started asking questions to a lot of people. This is the book which helped me understand. This is not about parenting. It's about life. It's about relationships. It's about business. Everything. Some of the recordings are from a parent. Some are from a child. The child has always got that not okay feelings. At this point of time, I'll just have a short story of myself as how I came into this parenting journey. So we'll just, it's a very short one, so that it'll help you to further think it over. So I actually didn't want to marry. I wanted to be a bachelor. But my my mother was alive when I had got a job. So my father was not there. So she insisted that I should marry because she's not going to live for many more years. So she wanted me to be tied up with someone so that I will be taken care of. So that was the start of my journey. But before that, I came to know what parenting is all about thanks to a book. We'll show that presentation. This I say I am okay parenting. This is the title that I have given. So I've taken that idea from the book called I Am Okay, You Are Okay. I think some of you are familiar with that book. It's a bestseller. So we'll go into the next. So my preparation for parenting began much ahead of marriage, and that is all because of this particular book. And also, I noticed that around me, I could find that I couldn't find many happy families. In fact, they were pretending to be happy, but they were having a lot of problems between themselves, between the children. And I noticed that it's not an easy job to be a parent. So when I was pressured by my mother to marry and also become a parent, then I thought I should prepare myself sufficiently. So I started asking questions to a lot of people, but they couldn't give any proper answer. So in those days, there was no AI and no internet, so I had to depend on a book. So this book was the one which started my journey in parenting. I'll show that book. Yes, this is the book which helped me understand. This is not about parenting. It's about life. It's about relationships. It's about business, everything. It's all about that. But this helped me create some generate some insight into what parenting is all about. Because we are composed of three different identities, like three, states of mind is always working in our mind. One is the child in us, the other is the parent, and the other one is the adult. So it's called parent, adult, child, PAC. So it is the core of the transaction analysis, which was developed by Eric Berne, and also later on it was popularized by Thomas Harris in this book, I Am Okay, You Are Okay, and later on he also wrote the book Staying Okay. So this gave me a lot of insight into how we have to conduct our parenting. And lot of our insights about parenting come from our own experience of seeing our parent. And these are all recordings which are not erased. So many things, like our parents used to say that we should not swing our leg when you are sitting in a chair or in a bed. There is a reason for that, because there might be one bottle of one vessel having a water or something like that, or there is something called a kolambi, where the elders used to spit this pan after chewing. So when you swing your leg, you actually hit that and then it will spill over. So that is the reason why they give this kind of do's or don'ts. But after some time, you learn to question this, and then the next slide. Then we start, our adult develops, and we start processing these into the information that you get as a child and also from the surroundings. So you start processing that, and then you find that all the recordings in the child or in the parent is not right. There is something wrong with that. Then you always compare and then try to contrast and then try to come to a. So this constant battle takes place in our mind, that some of the recordings are from our parent, some are from our child. And the child has always got that not okay feelings, because as a child it sees everything very big, tall things, and the child is in a helpless state. So whatever it has felt, it is all there in the recording. And so I understood that this childhood is a very important period, and for which the parent has to take very much extra care. So the initial years, 5 years, are very important, because all those recordings are like read-only memory. You cannot erase it. It will be there till your end of the life. And then the parent is also a recording which you see from the way your parent behave with you, the do's and don'ts and all the voice and other things, everything is there for recall at a later stage. But the adult thing is constantly changing, because new data gets updated and you use that data for your own understanding of what is happening around the world. So we'll go to the next. So, what makes parenting challenging? Even those who are successful businessmen, they say that when they come home, they find the job very difficult. It's not easy. Likewise, I told in the beginning, military officials find it very difficult to manage their home. They manage large troops. Then teachers find managing a large class better than managing their home. So, as Stephen Covey said, no institution is under siege in our society more than the family. So this is a big issue that we are now facing. So next slide. So this is the different state of the mind as propounded by Thomas Harris and also Eric Berne and other transaction analysts. So this is the different states of our mind. So we constantly battle with these three different states to in all our transactions with other people. So this is what happens. So next slide. So this is my parenting journey. So I didn't find that as difficult as most other people think of, because I understood that the first 5 years is the most important part of the child's development. So I devoted as much time as possible for the child's both my children. The first child was a son. Now he's an adult and he's now in New Zealand working in the hotel industry. And after a gap of 9 years, I got the second child. You can see me holding the second child. She's a daughter. And so I understood before marriage itself that these 5 years is the most crucial part of the journey of the parent as well as for the child. So I devoted as much time as possible, despite my very tight schedule as a journalist and other duties that I had to do. I devoted that 5, and the physical aspects and also other type of caring, soft caring, my wife took care of, Ashwati, my wife. And the other part, the emotional and intellectual thing, and getting the both children out and then talking to them, all those I managed. So the children develop that communication skill. They just get used to the surroundings, and they also ask a lot of questions. So their social and emotional skills get developed. So they see the surroundings and they keep on asking questions. So this was my journey for both the children. So this helped the children to become self-learners. And after 5 years, I didn't have to devote much time either for their studies or any of the other activities. So they become independent on their own. So next slide. So I should try to give as much love, affection, quality, time, and scaffolding. Initially, they require some kind of scaffolding for various sports activities or any kind of outside activities going out. They need scaffolding. But once they start growing up, you can give them enough freedom so that they slowly enjoy that freedom itself in a very responsible manner. Next slide. So this is all before the age of 5. So give the feeling that the child is valued, respected for what he or she is. So this is also important part of the child's initial journey. And next slide. So all this involving with the child, spending as much time as possible, and I actually took off all my other entertainments, like Sam told about going to club or being with friends and other things. I purposefully kept all those away, and I ensured that I spent quality time in the first 5 years with both the children. And they came at a gap of around 8, 9 years, so I could actually devote quality time to both of them. And when the second child came, the first child was in such a situation that he also could give some support. So this helps the child to become very curious, creative. They also communicate everything to you. And they are always happy most of the time in this situation. And next slide. So after all this, recently, 1.5 years ago, we had another session on parenting, and we had Dr. Roy Abraham Kallivailil, very senior consultant psychiatrist, was on the panel, and he actually endorsed my view on something which I had already implemented in my life. So he asked this question to the audience: what is the most important stage in your life? Then he went on to answer, the 0 to 5 years is the most important thing. Then I realized that whatever I had read from the books and whatever I had implemented was actually right. So he said that the foundations of the personality is laid in these 5 years, and all the things that you can talk about, morality, affection, kindness, love, everything is learned in these crucial 5 years. So after 5 years, there is a little bit that you can do, but after 12 years, it again comes down, and after that, it's very difficult to change. So what happens is many parents don't devote these kind of quality time in the initial years. So thereafter, it becomes very difficult. When the foundation is weak, then it becomes difficult for intervention at a later stage. So this is from my practical experience, and again, nobody told me. Luckily I read this book, I Am Okay, which is not about parenting, but which gave me some insight about the most crucial period of our life and how we should give that quality time to our children. So I think my children will be grateful for that quality time which I spent for them. And thereafter, I slowly started going away from and detaching myself, because they have to become independent. And at the age of 18, my young elder child, that is son, went to New Zealand on his own, and is now completed his studies and working there. So this is, in short, my take on how we can overcome the problems, the socio-emotional problems that the children face. And this is another quote by Stephen Covey. And this book, Leader in Me by Stephen Covey, it's not about parenting. It is about developing leadership skills in children at the school level. But it has devoted 1 or 2 chapters to parenting. And here he says, being a parent has brought me more joy, more peace, and more meaning than any other thing I have done in life. Far more than any secondary greatness I achieved. So this is the message that I also have to give to the younger generation, that parenting can become very joyful. It can become very immersive for you and also very enjoyable, provided you are able to devote the 5 years, that crucial 5 years for the child. But again, the problem is for many career people, that 5 years might be the time when their career takes off. So they may not be able to sufficiently provide. But in my case, I decided to even forsake my career a bit and then devote more time to both the children. So this is my short story.